Well, it falls to me to thank, to bring this conference to a close and to thank everyone who made it possible. Let me first begin by thanking all of you in the audience who have persevered through 4 Zoom panels and a keynote. We appreciate you taking the time and devoting the effort to these subjects and engaging with us with your questions. My name is Jeremy Pam. I'm the director of the Business and Finance Law Program, and it's been my pleasure to support GW Law's business and finance students in putting on this terrific second annual Business and Finance Law Conference, organized and moderated by our students. Let me begin by thanking all of our outstanding guest panelists and speakers over the past 2 days, beginning with our keynote speaker, SEC Commissioner Hester Peirce. From the first panel on cryptocurrency, Preston Byrne, Joshua Clayman, Aaron Friedman, and Carol Von Cleef. From the second panel on GameStop, Farah Searle Guberman, Jay Bradley Bennett, and Joshua Mitz. From the third panel on digital taxation, both US and EU perspectives, Ruth Mason, Gary Sprague, Jean-Philippe Van West, and Kimberly Van Sand. And from the fourth panel on antitrust regulation of platform gatekeepers, which you've just heard conclude, Eleanor Fox, Daniel Sokol, and Cecilia Cheng, and Emily Cotton. Bios of all of the panelists can be found on the website for this conference on the GW Law site, and I encourage you to make note of the terrific speakers that we've had. Many thanks also to GW Law's own Dean Dana Bowen Matthew for getting the conference off to such a strong and warm start yesterday morning, to Jamie Friedman of the Dean's Office, to Ethan Stoller of our IT department, to Liz Field and Emily Branham of Communications, and to Sarah Prabhakar of Administration. But now it gives me great pleasure to turn to the student organizers of this conference, without whom it would not have taken place, and whose intelligence and honed lawyerly skills have been on display for the last 2 days. First, the panel moderators. Everyone, all the student organizers I mentioned are members of the Business and Finance Law Conference Organizing Committee, but I'll thank them in the order in which you saw them. Co-moderators of the first panel on cryptocurrency, Adam Manning, JD 22, and Joseph Darko, JD 23. Co-moderators of the second panel on GateStop, Tololope Awoyemi, LLM 21, Christopher Healy, JD 11, back as an honorary student again yesterday, but of course now counsel at Simpson Thacher, and panel organizer Abigail Zwick, JD 22. The co-moderators of the third panel, the first one today on digital taxation, US and EU perspective, Hannelore Neaston, LLM in Business and Finance Law, class of 21, and Leif Anderson, JD 21. And the co-moderators of the fourth panel on antitrust and platform gatekeepers, Barbara Samaniego, JD 21, and Sandhya Taneja, JD 21. And in addition, other members of the conference organizing committee whose behind the scenes work were just as crucial in making this conference happen. Alejandra Velapatino, Business and Finance LLM class of 21, and Alejandro Ibarra, BFL Business and Finance LLM class of 21. Let me also thank, with great gratitude, the organizing committee's senior advisor and mentor, available to the students at any time of day or night, our visiting associate professor of law and fellow of the Business and Finance Law Program, Morenike Reni Sala, who was herself a graduate of the Business and Finance LLM degree class of 18 before she achieved her more elevated titles. And last, but certainly not least, the Student Organizing Committee's chair and fearless leader, a veteran not only of this conference, but last year's conference as well, and really the connective tissue that enabled this conference to go off so well this year, Abraham Bluestone, JD 21. Let me also acknowledge the four co-sponsoring student organizations, many of which many of our committee members and moderators are officers: the Corporate and Business Law Society, the Banking and Securities Law Society, the Tax Law Society, and the Antitrust Law Society. Finally, in closing, as I said at the beginning of the conference, my association with this, the second annual Business and Finance Law Conference, student organized and student moderated, is one of the highlights of my time here at GW Law School. Our students who put this conference together, following in the footsteps of last year's first conference, which the organizing students then were bold enough to label the first annual Business and Finance Law Conference, our students truly represent the best and brightest, not only of GW Law School, both JD and LLM. And I think that the smooth collaboration between our JD and LLM students is itself noteworthy and a great feature of the program here. They not only represent the best and brightest of GW Law School, but I believe the best and brightest of the future of business and finance law legal practice, period. It's been a great pleasure working with the entire committee, and I hope, and so I ask the audience to please join me in a symbolic Zoom round of applause recognizing our student organizers for this year's conference. Thank you.
Hi. So after last year, I didn't. We called it the first annual, and I did not. At the end of the day, I didn't really expect it to be as great this year as it was. And I really want to thank all of the people on this committee for that. Each and every one of you, whether you moderated or not, you were there, you contributed, and you helped make this conference. I just made sure that there was nobody from last year's committee in this call, the best yet. So I want to thank each and every one of you so much for that. I also really do want to thank Professors Pam and Sala for their work on this. I know Professor Pam has his modesty when talking about this conference, but he did do a lot of work for this. And I really do feel like I need to thank him for that. And Professor Sala, you as well. You were literally emailing us at 9 o'clock at night a couple of times a week just to make sure everything's working. And it really, we could not have done this without both of you, and also without the help of the school in general. So thank you all so much. Last year, this part was a bit more fun because we were at a reception and we had some drinks and everything. Sadly, we can't do that this year, but I just want to thank also every audience member for being here these last 2 days and for attending this conference. We hope to see you again next year. Thank you.